Hi guys, welcome to another episode of QQ, brought to you by Second Perspective. My name is Paul Weston, beside me is Nathan Smith.
Hello!
And today we're going to talk about a movie that I don't know a lot of you would actually heard of. It's called Predestination. It was directed by the Spierig brothers, starring Ethan Hawke, Sarah Snook, and Noah Taylor. And Nathan's going to give us the synopsis before we give out our grades and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's a pretty small movie. I mean, like, it kind of snuck up, I think, on a lot of people. Yeah, so the Spierig brothers directed. They previously did Daybreakers with Ethan Hawke, so I guess there's a bit of a working relationship there. Predestination is it's a time travel movie. It's Ethan Hawke is part of an agency that uses time travel to stop criminals before they can commit their acts. I don't want to tell you too much more than that. Like, it's actually very tough to talk about this movie, but it is a time travel movie, so it's it's going to have some crazy things going on. It mostly just stars Ethan Hawke and Sarah Snook. They're mostly the primary characters in this movie. So, yeah, let's talk about it. What did you think of it?
The grade I gave it was A-. The acting was fantastic. The script itself, it's a very clever story. And you can sometimes get into a bit of trouble with time travel, whether you sort of create too many holes for yourself or a bunch of inconsistencies, but I thought it did a very good job of sort of feeding us the information that we needed when we needed it, and so we didn't get sort of caught up in all the sort of inconsistencies of the world. And I like scripts that I felt, or that I feel that are smarter than me, and I'm sort of following them more than I'm kind of already knowing what's going on. That happened in the script for probably 95% of it. I did have a few small issues in terms of pacing for a few moments, but probably one of the strongest aspects of the script is the fact that I don't know if too many moments are wasted.
It's a very tight script.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm kind of even hesitant to say there's pacing issues, because I can see how some of those moments where I'm like, it's a little slower, I sort of get the point already. You kind of need that. And the reason the script is so tight is that for every line, every moment, the majority of them have 2 or 3 sort of purposes. Often what you see, because it's time travel, it comes back and all that sort of stuff. So it's very... Yeah, even my sort of qualms about pacing are very slight on that end. I had there's sort of one flaw that I had with the script as a whole. I'm still not exactly sure how to speak about it without ruining too much.
It's very hard to talk about this movie.
Yeah, it's a movie that I strongly recommend. And so, like, with this spoiler-free review, I don't want to ruin sort of the point of seeing the script or the film and all that. But there's sort of one flaw that I think Nathan knows I'm talking about that I just don't want to say, because then I kind of ruin the film for you. But that's what's giving it an A-, whereas, I mean, it's not that far away from an A+ to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A- as well. I think it's a really good movie. I heard some people talking about it, and I thought I might want to try it out. I approached you with it, and I was like, I told you nothing. I knew very little about it. I just knew it was a time travel movie. It was with Ethan Hawke, and I was like, okay, well, you know what? I like Ethan Hawke. Time travel is cool. Let's watch it. I was really surprised. It's a very good movie. I should say that it is adapted from a Heinlein story. Yeah, that's famous sci-fi author. So they did have a basis for writing the script. The Spierig brothers, who directed, also wrote the script, but they adapted it from the short story. So I think, it was good that they had like a little bit to guide themselves with. I think it's a really intelligent movie. I think there's, like you said, there's very little wasted elements. Everything in the story finds a way of being significant. Like, every single piece of the story that's revealed becomes something later. They're all seeds that are planted early on, and they feed into something, and I really like that. There's no wasted elements. The acting, I think, is superb. I mean, Ethan Hawke, I've always liked him. I think he's a good actor. Sarah Snook, I've never seen her in anything. She's fantastic.
She's gonna be in the next Steve Jobs movies, actually.
Yeah,
so.
that's directed by Danny Boyle. So
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I
With
think
Michael
she's
Fassbender. So
yeah, she's probably going places. She did a stellar job in this. It's kind of hard to say why, but she did a very good job. Yeah, I think I had a few issues with pacing. There were a few slow moments in the movie. But as Paul said, they are sort of necessary to set things up for things that happen later on in the movie. So it's sort of like a necessary evil. The other problem I had is, when all is said and done, I feel like it might be a little thematically or emotionally dry. There's some really interesting things that happen in this movie, but I feel like the greater connotations of that aren't really taken into account. It just sort of happens.
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I think like it just...
Aren't you just so clever?
everything just kind of objectively happens and you're left there to sit with it, but the movie doesn't seem to really have a direct plan with how it wants you to feel about those things. It's just like, there you go, here it is.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good way of putting it. It's just, I thought I had a really good opportunity to sort of experience something, or like, kind of leave us with a very interesting question. But I don't think it quite capitalizes on that.
No, it just kind of leaves you hanging on the themes of it all. It just kind of, that's it, you know?
And anyways, long story short, go see it. It does everything very well, especially for its budget, and yeah.
Yeah, it's a really interesting movie. The script is tight, the acting is great, the sci-fi elements are really well done. You should definitely go see it. We are obviously going to talk about a lot more in the spoiler review, which I really want to do, so once you've seen it, if you understand what happens, or don't understand what happens, come and see what we have to say, and maybe we'll understand what happens, or maybe we won't. Yeah. So thanks for listening. This is Second Perspective.
Take care, guys.